do with this? Fremont lived with his mother, Olita, a bony, fearsome woman with no sense of humor and nails jutting out of her eyes. You remember that time I helped her out? Isaiah said. Her boss at the shoe store wouldn't pay her overtime, and I made him give it up. She was grateful, really grateful. Fremont shook his head and looked to the heavens. Maybe someone up there would have his back. Bring me the dog, Isaiah said, and if there's a scratch on him, I'll lock you in a room with Mrs. Marquez and a baseball bat. Mrs. Marquez was thrilled to get Pepito back, and she brought Isaiah a soul-warming pot of calabacitas con puerco, a hearty stew of vegetables, spices, and pork cooked in butter. Isaiah wished she had more dogs that were stolen. He was happy to have helped her, like he was happy to help anybody. But lately he'd been wondering if he had a higher calling. The traditional notions of success bored him. He had a nice place to live, food on the table, and a fast car to drive. Getting a nicer place, more food on the table, and a faster car didn't interest him at all. A lot of people seemed to enjoy power, controlling the lives of others, telling them what to do, determining their fates. The idea made him cringe. He could barely control his own life, let alone determine his fate. Isaiah in charge of Isaiah was plenty. Maybe he should just shut up and get on with it. He had a girlfriend now, Stella McDaniels. They'd been seeing each other for 3 months. She was a violinist, first chair, in the Long Beach Symphony Orchestra. He'd met her on a case. On her way to rehearsal, she'd stop at Beaumont's store to get a bottle of water. She was late and didn't lock the car. When she returned, her violin was gone. A Giovanni and Giuseppe Dullen's violin made in Italy circa 1855. When she was in high school, her parents had used their life savings and cashed in their IRA to buy it for her. The instrument was insured for $50,000, but over the years it had increased in value, and the payout wouldn't cover the cost of anything comparable. The symphony season was starting, and she was frantic. She got a rental, but it was like wearing someone else's shoes. The same thing, but unfamiliar. And when you're playing music at her level, feel was everything. Stella had come up the hard way, like Isaiah, like everyone in the neighborhood. Her family lived on the border between Long Beach and Compton, the hood if there ever was one. Isaiah asked her when she knew she was going to be a musician. I've always known, she said. There was never a day I didn't know. Her parents were working people and couldn't afford music school or even music lessons. She used a relative's battered, tinny-sounding instrument and practiced relentlessly. A friend of her mother's owned a laundromat. At age 9, Stella was sorting lights and darks, stuffing wet clothes into the dryers and folding sheets by herself. She used the money to pay for music lessons, but she could only afford 3. The teacher recognized almost immediately that Stella was exceptionally talented and lowered her rates to next to nothing. In high school, Stella worked 2 jobs after school and in the summer. She got a better teacher, played in junior orchestras, and earned a music scholarship to the California School of the Arts. She entered competitions but was disappointed. There were other exceptionally talented violinists who were better than her. She would never command an audience of her own. After graduation, she gave violin lessons to children, taught music at a small college, substituted in local orchestras, played in Vegas for Michael Bublé, and finally, got a spot in the Long Beach Symphony. It took her 7 years to work herself up to first chair, a prestigious position. She was the principal soloist as well as leader of the section. The other musicians would take her directions on inflection, dynamics, bowing, and numerous other things. Her first solo would be her proudest moment, and the proudest moment for her family. Where to start? Isaiah thought. East Long Beach had a legion of car thieves, but the violin had been stolen right outside of Beaumont's, and she'd been inside the store for only a minute, 2 at the most. Someone was Johnny on the spot. A local walking by or someone on his way into the store. Beaumont's was in gang territory. Loco Serenios 13. Isaiah went to see the gang's entrepreneurial leader, Monzo. They weren't friends, but they respected each other and sometimes traded favors. They met at Cafe Michoacan, Monzo's new coffee place. Monzo was 35 or so, dressed in nice...